Okay, there it is. I've got it all locked down. Well, here I am. I'm taking the RV into a mechanic to have a sound look at that I've been curious about. There's a pretty loud whine that happens when I get up above between 40 and 50, and it just gets louder. And I had the power steering pump replaced only about a week before I left. And when I was driving around town in the RV, I didn't hear anything, and it was only until I got on the freeway that it really became apparent. But I'm going to have them take a look at it to make sure that there's plenty of fluid and there isn't another problem of some sort. So, I really hate dealing with stuff like this, but yeah, this is what's going to happen if you get an older RV. But I did attach the scooter again, and that was something that I was kind of dreading. I'm getting more used to it. Putting the scooter up on the ramp and strapping it down. I still haven't figured out sort of the exact ideal route to put the straps through. I don't think there is exactly an ideal route, but because I've done it different each time. I suppose as long as it secures it, that's what matters. So, but I got to tell you, I was really worried when I got that scooter hitch for installing it. Just the installation instructions were a little bit obtuse, and one of the frustrations was that the instructions said, okay, you need two tools. You need a 17mm wrench and a 13mm wrench. So I went to the store and I got them. And then when I started installing it, I realized that because of the nature of the nuts, you actually have to have counter wrenches of the same size, the kind that are ratchet wrenches. And so I had to go get those, and I actually decided that was actually a good thing, because I actually decided to just get an entire wrench set, which I now have from Harbor Freight. So that was actually kind of a good thing. There is the tabernacle. Yay, I did a video on the tabernacle. And one of the things that I've got to do is I've got to secure a couple of the cabinets like to come open. So I'm sure something has fallen out. So that's something I've got to do. That's got to become a little mini project, is going back there and figuring out how to secure those a little bit better. I found this mechanic just by looking online. There were a couple of mechanics that were closer to where I was, but they all looked kind of small, like there was no way I could get the RV in there. So I found this one, but it was across town, and I went in and I talked to them, and they said, well, we can look at it. He says, the problem is we don't have the ability to hoist this thing up. So he says, if there's anything that requires it being jacked up, we can't do that. But at the very least, he says, we can work on it if it doesn't require that. And at the very least, we can at least tell you what the sound is. So I'm going to have to take one of the mechanics out onto the freeway, and hopefully they can hear what I'm hearing. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong. I'm hoping the brand new steering pump is okay, and maybe it just needs fluid. Yay, on the way to the mechanic. So this is right by where the Temple Quarry site is. So the road going up to the Temple Quarry site is right along this bluff right here. And I went and explored that, did a video on that. That was amazing up there. It was incredibly beautiful.